what do you know about pulse crops? They could include dried beans, chickpeas, or lentils, and are gaining more interest in both western and eastern regions of Nebraska. Extension Cropping Systems educator Strahinja Stepanovic says field peas can be double cropped with short-season soybeans, short-season corn, and grain sorghum, as well as forage crops and cover crops. We spoke with him to learn more about how Nebraska growers can incorporate pulse crops into their rotation.
Yeah, you were right. They're considered a staple crop in northern states, Montana and North Dakota, so Canada. There was a few guys that tried field peas, particularly 15, 20 years ago in western Nebraska. Not having close proximity to markets, trying to figure out how to fit them agronomically, how to grow them better, have a better yield stability, how to make them yield consistently was just a challenge. And for this year, I think one of the turn point in pulse crop industry in Nebraska is financial support from SARE, NCR-SARE, that supported this project to diversify crop rotations primarily in western Nebraska, but now we're coming further east just as we're getting more support from the end users. We're talking about pet food industry, we're talking about ingredients companies, we're talking about companies like Avalon that do field pea processing that have evaluated a product to a crop that we grow. We're talking about Redwood Group that just came from Mission, Kansas. We're talking about Farmers Business Network. And that's what makes this industry just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal group of people that want to connect directly to the grower, that are in direct communication with the consumers, that are making it easier for farmer to grow the crop and to market the crop.
Yeah, we've seen a big bump in the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, it really seems to increase exponentially every year.
Yeah, acreage in the past 6 years have gone from 10,000 to 70,000 in Nebraska for field peas, and they're being consistently moving to the east. So we're trying to fit, like you heard from these younger guys, how they fit here. We're starting at the bottom level, trying to figure out what genetics work, what the yield we can get. We know there are certain benefits that come to it. If you plant a crop in March and you double crop it and you have a growing season from March to November, there's surely some benefits to it, especially if you're an organic farmer, lower inputs, not as much chemical inputs, better nutrient cycling so you don't have to fertilize your next crops as much, diversifying your rotations, opportunities like that. So we also had the winter wheat program today. We're talking about incorporating cool season grass and cool season broadleaf. This is what this cropping system needs, and in terms of agronomics. How are we going to fit that? If it doesn't work financially, in my opinion, it's not going to stay. And we're here to investigate that. But we're going to investigate from every standpoint. We're going to investigate it from the standpoint of what does that do to our bottom line in terms of dollars? What does that do to our soil? What does that do to our long-term sustainability? So that's our objective here.
It seems like finances are always a key. What are the biggest challenges you face when you're talking with farmers and growers about pulse crops?
You know, first of all, I love challenges, and I know there's farmers that love challenge. They want to try something differently, and first thing that I run into is understanding that we're not growing corn and soybeans, that this is different, that the timing is more important. Planting on time, taking advantage of the opportunities that weather gives you. You know, in March, if you get rain or snow, you're not going to be able to get in a field for a couple of weeks. So take those couple of days. You don't have to have too many acres, plant your peas. Wheat has different challenges than in western Nebraska. Disease management, fertilizer management, how do you get the protein up? It's just talking about education. How do we grow these crops here? They're not familiar with it, or they are, but they haven't tried them. Just try. Have a small acreage set aside. Try these things. We can help you with finding the seed, finding the market, find recommendations. Get into it and try different things. It's people talk about incorporating cover crops in corn and soybean. Imagine incorporating cover crops, bringing livestock back to the ground. It's so easy with this having the cool season crops. Consider those things. We are talking about direction, not what we should do. We're talking about where we should go. And that's the objective of our field days today.